Hey guys, hope you're enjoying your spring break. And I wanted to let you know that I read your exploratory essays and I thought they were great. We're going to be passing them out when you come to class next week. So make sure that you read through the feedback that I left each of you so that you know how you can improve with your next essay. Now that we are moving into writing our expository essays, these are our closed form essays because you are going to be choosing a position and arguing for it. So you're going to be using a more structured approach to this essay. It's not going to weave back and forth through the research that you find. You are going to be finding research that backs up your position and interpreting that research to support your thesis statement. So the reason why I did an entire week on learning thesis statements is because they are the key to driving your paper. Everything goes back to your thesis statement in your paper. So I want to make sure that you guys really understand what thesis statements are, how to write them, and so that's why I asked you to email them to me so I could make sure that you're on the right track. So you wrote 4 thesis statements for homework, and you have 2 choices. You can choose one of those thesis statements to use for your expository essay that we are now going to be writing. Or you can go ahead and choose a different topic that you are passionate about because you're going to want to be interested in whatever it is that you're writing about. So you can choose a different topic. And then it's okay if you are not totally sure what your position is yet. You can go through this next research phase that we're going to be doing and then decide what your thesis will be based on what you research. Okay? So what I want to do, though, is I want to make sure that I approve the thesis statement that you decide to use. So if you have one that you are going to use already, go ahead and email me what it is so that I can make sure that it's going to be strong enough to run your paper. If you don't have one yet, that's okay. As soon as you have one, email it to me so that I can make sure that it's going to work for you. Okay? So this week we are going to be talking about points and particulars. So after you have developed a thesis statement, the next part of your essay is going to be made up of your points or your assertions, reasons why your thesis statement is true. Okay? So think in terms of 3s for your essay. You're going to have, for every one thesis statement, you need at least 3 points to back it up. And then you will develop particulars within your points that show why your points are correct. So for every particular, you will have 3 pieces of evidence. Okay? Now, I thought that the best way this week to learn this information, it was for me just to scan in the chapter and for you to read it directly, because I want you to see how this writing instructor lays out the thesis, like she outlines it, the thesis, and then what your point will be, what your evidence or particulars will be for each point. And I wanted you to see, there's several examples in here. I wanted you to see how she does that. She also talks about how to organize your research on note cards so that you can just jot down, maybe you find a quote, a study, an interesting thing that somebody says in a book or an article, and you want to jot it down on a note card, and then later you can organize your note cards into sections, and there you will kind of have a map for how you're going to write your paper. So she talks about all of that in here. I would really love for you guys to do yourself a favor and read through all this information and make sure that it makes sense. So you are going to be reading this information about how to create an outline and do the research for your chosen thesis statement. And what I want you to come to class with next week is your outline. So you're going to need to go do research. I want you to come to class with your thesis statement. I want your 3 points, and then I want your 3 particulars under each point ready to go. Okay, so that's our next step. So go ahead, read through the information below. Do your research, make sure your thesis statement is sent to me so I can approve it, and then you're going to bring to class your outline with your thesis, your points, and your particulars, following this example that she lays out in the reading. Okay, please email me if you have any questions. I want to make sure that you guys are not confused. Okay, so good luck, have fun, and I think you guys will really like being able to argue your ideas in a way that will persuade others to believe as you do. It's pretty an enjoyable process. All right, have a great one. Bye, guys.